If you've ever found yourself getting an audition notice or finding something online that you wanted to audition for and they want you to give them the pre-read like today or tomorrow, you may have to do it with your Mac laptop or a PC laptop, and this is going to show you how to do it with a Mac with a FaceTime camera. We're starting off with we're recording this in the QuickTime Player because it's got a screen recording feature, which is pretty cool. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into iMovie because iMovie comes pre-installed. If you're on an iPad, it's the same thing. You do have to purchase iMovie, which is about $30, and it's totally worth it because it's very user-friendly and it's easy to do this on the road. First thing you're going to do is you're going to create a movie. And if you have an agent or if you found this and they've asked you to email them the audition by tomorrow, you're going to end up, if you've got 2, 3, 4 minute audition, you're going to have a pretty good sized file that if you're sending it to a producer or director for an independent film and all they have is their phone, then you're going to be A, taking it part of their data plan, B, it's going to take a very long time to download your video onto a phone. If you do it this way, it's going to get it to the smallest file size possible. Plus, if you upload to an agency website, it's going to some of them have restrictions on the file size, so this is going to get you to the smallest file size possible. But there are a few steps, and we're going to go through them. First things first, because this is an audition, we're going to not use any of these themes. We're going to go with no theme. We're going to create. The next thing is you want to put your name in here. Your name, because you don't want my movie being what you send them, because they don't know who it's from and they don't know anything else about the character or who the agency is or what have you. So then we're going to put the character name in. And this is pretty much the general naming convention. Sometimes you get something where they want things a little bit different, but for the most part, if you name your file this way, whether it's a headshot or whether it's the video audition, headshots, you don't need the character name in, but you certainly want your name and your agency name. So we're going to put the agency in and hit OK, and now we're ready to record the audition. Nice thing about this is once you've named the file, you can do as many recordings as you want, and you're going to end up, choosing what you want to throw in there. So, and anymore today, just a little note that a lot of times they want your slate and your audition to be in separate files. So you may have to do 2 of them separately anyway. So we're going to import media. What that does is that actually activates your FaceTime camera. And here we are. And the FaceTime camera, what I have set up here now, and I'm going to go ahead and hit record because I'll explain this to you while it's recording so we can get a little bit of a file size to play with to show you how to do the compression. I've got a backdrop behind me. I've got my Mac in front of me, and I've got 3 light sources that are all very indirect, but they're also daylight balanced. You can see I've got a couple of shadows being cast. I've got my phone over here with the flashlight turned on, and it's just sort of shooting up toward me to give a little bit of light. And then I've got another light over here on top of a little shelf that's bouncing off the ceiling and coming back down. And then behind my computer, I've got another indirect light. So I've got 3 light sources giving me just enough light that I'm not blown out. I look decent enough that you can see what's in my eyes. You can see my emotion. You can see my eyebrows. You can see everything that you need to see. Now, the FaceTime camera, of course, is not the best solution, but it is a solution. If you're on the road or it's all you have for the time being, then, hey, do the best you can. And the lighting, you don't want to use regular soft white or Edison bulbs. You want to use some kind of daylight balanced 5400K, 6400K. You can look in the store and see bulbs that are balanced to that color temperature because that gives you more of a daylight feel. If you have a window, that's great. Now this backdrop literally is right behind my chair. So it's the computer, me, the backdrop. And you don't want to have things. I've got the keyboard over here, which is a distraction. I'm not going to start playing because you don't want that. Anyway, so we're just kind of filling some time right now while we record a little bit of video. And then we're going to go through a program called IAAVideoConverter that is going to convert this from the size that we originally have to a very small file size. Now we're about 2 minutes in, so we're going to go ahead and kill this. Now we'll hit close, and you see this is everything that recorded. So what we're going to do is we're going to double click it. It's going to select everything. We're just going to drag that down here into this timeline. Now I've got my 2 minutes of video right here in the timeline, and let's say that I want to trim out the very beginning of it. So let's say right there I just drag that and set it in there, and then the end I'm reaching over to turn it off, so we'll drag that over and we'll take a little bit off there, and that's how you trim that down. Now we're 1 minute and 55 seconds, so I just drug 5 seconds off of it, and you can see your orange indicator here is telling you exactly what part of the file is down here. Okay, so we have that, we're happy with it, we're good to go, we're ready to send this out. So we're going to hit share file, and now it has your file name saved, and we're going to hit next and save. Over here the blue indicator will tell you how long it's taking that to save. You're going to have a pretty good idea of how big this file is going to be in just a minute. And then we're going to use another program. I'm going to go ahead and open it while this is saving, called IAAVideoConverter. It's free. You can download it from the App Store right onto your iMac or Mac laptop. And pretty soon this will be done, and then we'll be able to just put the file in place here. And then I'll walk you through how to get this down to a pretty good file size. If you're going to email it to somebody, so you saw an audition and they sent you aside and said, I need it tomorrow, can you email it to me? You can either send it through like WeTransfer or something, or if they want it sent directly to their email, you've got to get the file down as small as possible. So I'm going to hit show. My share was successful, and now here's my file. I'm going to go ahead and close out iMovie. And we're going to take this, we're going to drop it over here. And as you can see, we started off with 854 by 480, and it's 71, almost 72 megs in size. It's 1 minute and 55 seconds. We're going to get that down to probably about 6 megs, maybe, roughly. So we're going to knock it down quite a bit. So let's go ahead and choose the iPhone or iPod. We could convert right now, but it's not going to get it a whole lot smaller. So if I'm on a Mac and I don't have the right click set up, I can hold down the control key and click on the video picture, hit output options, and then it will bring up this screen. And this will preview your video so you can see what you've got here. You want your output to be MPEG-4 because that's going to be one of your smallest file sizes. Your aspect ratio, since we recorded in 16:9, let's just leave it that way. And let's leave the stereo frame rate. Let's go ahead and keep it at 30. And it's going to, by default, want to make this a 1280 by 720 high definition resolution. Well, we don't want that because that's a larger file. So what we want to do is we want to reduce this down. And a pretty good size is this 640 by 350 EGA. And it seems like that would be kind of small, but it actually looks great on a phone. It looks good on an iPad, and you can blow it up to a pretty good size, and it still looks pretty good. Now, to get the file size really small, we need to change this bit rate right here. This video bit rate, which is 4,000, we need to change to 512. 512. And let's change the audio bit rate to 92. So that's kilobits per second. This is going to actually end up being a pretty decent file size. Everything else in here is just fine, unless you want to do some trimming in here, but we're not going to worry about that. So 16:9, 30 frames per second, use the 640 by 350 right off the bat, make your bit rate 512 and your audio bit rate 92, hit OK. Now you're ready to convert. And it's going to bring this up because this is a free program. Yes, we do like free. So just hit continue and it will convert this very quickly. It doesn't leave a watermark. It doesn't have advertising. It doesn't do any of that kind of stuff. It is truly free. And the only thing it does is it pops up that ad whenever you go to convert a video or if you try to close the program. It'll pull that up. In the meantime, though, we're going to look at this and it's going to be done here in just a second. And it's finished. So we're going to go over here into movies, any video converter free, your name, agency, and it's 9 megs. So I told you we're going to get it down to about that size. And as you can see,
I've got a backdrop behind me.
the quality's pretty good. It's got, you know, the sound quality from the microphone. You can see that, you know, you can stretch it out pretty good and still see fairly well at 512 kbps, and it's gone down from 70, almost 72 megs down to 9, which is great. So that's pretty much it. And no, we don't want to do that right now. That's pretty much it. So you have your file size down to 9. That's how you convert it, and then just you'll email that, or you can upload that to a website. I know that some talent agencies, Heyman Talent is one that was one of my representatives, and they have a 25 megabyte limit. And getting that down to 9 is fantastic, because I could do really a 4-minute audition if need be and get it down to the right size to still get it uploaded to their servers. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned a little bit. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave comments down below, and I will be adding a PC version of this tutorial very shortly. Thanks.